You know what? We absolutely love having a live studio audience here for the show, and we're saving a chair for you. You know that, right? Church groups, civic groups, neighborhood clubs. Bring your family, bring your friends, bring your coworkers. You know what? We just like to have you. Bring everybody you can think of with you. If you'd like to join us, visit delmarvalife.com, click on the show tab, and you'll find the section that says For the Audience. You can do that, or you can call that number right there on your screen, 443-880-9116.
Well, we don't mean for them to be, but holidays can be very stressful. It's supposed to be a time to spend with family.
Yeah, but if your family has been broken through the divorce or through the separation of parents, the holidays can be an especially stressful time. Well, Dean Betts of the Betts Law Firm in Georgetown joins us this afternoon. And thank you for coming, Dean. Appreciate you being here. It's great for you to share this information. Now, a lot of couples who have gone through this over an amount of time, they've kind of worked things out between them. So essentially, we're talking about those who have recently been divorced or separated, and it can really be a difficult situation.
It can be a huge problem for those couples that have recently divorced or separated that have children together. Typically, the people that have been through a few years of the holidays have gotten into a routine and worked those issues out, but the people that are fresh to the situation really have a difficult time with it. Where the kids are going to be, for what periods of time, what traditions are going to be observed, and what traditions may have to be changed or altered in some fashion. Can be really a stressful time, especially for the kids.
So your advice to these parents is to just come up with a schedule, write it down.
That would be the best case scenario. If you have a written contact schedule that you've both agreed to, that hopefully take into account both families' traditions so that you can maintain those for the kids, that's the ideal situation. The other thing I advise clients to do is to have that agreement signed off on by the court so that it's an enforceable court order. That way, if disputes arise, the parents know that the written order has to be followed, and they can either seek help from law enforcement sometimes in extreme situations, or the court if there's time to go through that process.
Okay, so if they can't agree on something, they've got something to fall back on. This is what we agreed to, this is how we're going to do it.
That's right.
Okay, so then the question would be, if it's already been agreed to, you've got the schedule worked out, who's going to get who, when, what, where, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Can one side force the other side to say, you know what, we're going to change this?
No. Once it's a court order, it must be followed as a court order. If a parent chooses not to follow the court order, there can be severe consequences to that. The parent could be held in contempt of court for violating the order. Sanctions could be imposed on that parent by the court, including taking some of their time with the children away, and in extreme cases, fines and things like that.
Both spouses can come to an agreement. Let's say, okay, we've got the schedule, but you know what? I need to take them to this. Can we do this, and I'll trade out you some other time for that? If they can come to an agreement like that, does that have to be endorsed and signed off on by the court?
No, it does not, and that's a common misconception for parents that have a court order. They feel that the order is what it is, and we can't change it. What they don't understand is that almost all court orders in a custody situation have a clause in it that says the parents can agree to alter the schedule by mutual agreement, and that's really the key. If there's a situation that came up and the parents needed to change the schedule, they could certainly communicate with each other about that and reach reasonable compromises regarding it. Switching weekends, for example, or maybe you had Christmas last year, but I want it this year because of some particular situation, so they can alter that schedule.
And that should be done in writing just to cover your bases.
If there's a particularly contentious situation where the parents really can't get along, or maybe are trying to get each other in trouble, it's always best to have that type of change in writing. It doesn't have to be signed off on by the court, but just so down the road the other parent can't say, well, I never agreed to that.
Right. Dean Betts, thank you so much for the information. Very good stuff. Appreciate you coming in this afternoon.
A lot of helpful information. And to expand on that, Psychology Today also offers some tips for dealing with divorce during the holidays. Remember, the holidays are not all about you.
Get into the spirit of the season. This is a time of giving, forgiving, fresh starts.
And love means far more than money. Your time, attention, and emotional presence are more important to your children than lavish gifts.
Here's a toughie. The holidays are not a competition with your ex or for your children.
Communicate and coordinate with your children's other parent. A brief email, telephone message, or conversation can ensure that you don't duplicate presents or plan back-to-back feasts for stuffed and confused children. 10 minutes now can save days or even weeks of fuming later.
And as Dean just explained to us, do the details. Work out exactly where your kids are going to be during what times, when, where, and how exchange is going to take place, and your kids will feel more secure.
Celebrate with your children's other parent, especially if your separation is fairly recent. Some people are shocked when divorced families celebrate holidays or birthdays together. Go ahead and shock them.
Now, here's a good time to set up your plan for next year.
Work things out in advance with your own extended family.
Okay, big picture. Establish traditions with your children. Your kids may not remember the details of 2004, but year in and year out traditions will stay with them for a lifetime.
A lot of good advice, and if you missed any of that information, go to delmarvalife.com and click on the show tab.
Well, still to come on Delmarva Life, Johnny Janasic, one of only a few retailers in the country chosen to carry a popular line of furniture. We're going to take a look at the different styles, and one of them might be just exactly what you're looking for.
But first, 'tis the season for giving here on Delmarva Life and delmarvalife.com. Over the next several weeks, we will be giving out gift cards to some of your favorite Delmarva businesses. Entering is easy. To learn more on how you can win at least a $50 gift card, go to delmarvalife.com and click on the Holiday tab. Happy holidays from all of us at Delmarva Life and delmarvalife.com. And today's winner is from Dorchester County, Kelly Hurley of Linkwood. You won a $50 gift card from Something Comfortable in Rehoboth Beach.